You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, this was almost a dual video because John Matrix was almost going to join me on this one because he wanted to share his opinion on it. Of course, we each own half of all the channels that we have, and normally I work this channel and he works Black and White Sports, Black and White Network, and I work Black and White Sports 2. Essentially, what's now the basketball channel, this is a football channel. Nonetheless, he sent me this article, and it was interesting because Big Ben gave a rather interesting take on who he would take between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Now, look, I think my personal opinion of it is that Patrick Mahomes has got 3 rings. All right? At the end of the day, that is what separates Tom Brady from everybody else. All right? It separates Joe Montana from everybody else. And when I talk about all-time quarterbacks, I've got Tom Brady first, Joe Montana second. And then I start talking about other quarterbacks. Peyton, John Elway, certainly I think top 5. All right, in my opinion. But after that, it starts getting hazy. Now, look, I don't know what Terry Bradshaw would have looked like in today's NFL, but my gut feeling is Terry Bradshaw probably would be a top 5 all-time quarterback if he played today. He's got 4 rings, by the way. We don't talk about TB12 enough. The other one. All right? People don't understand how good Roger Staubach is. And if he played today, holy hell, what to do would, seriously. And then there's even a further debate. You talk about dual threat quarterbacks. Well, the only real pure dual threat quarterback that in today's terms that has actually won a Super Bowl is Jalen Hurts. Nobody talks about him. Everybody's talking about Lamar. And I'm like, but Jalen's been to 2 and won 1. Lamar can't can't hardly get to the AFC Championship game. If he does, forget about it. I mean, there's all kinds of conversations. But I thought this was interesting, and I brought up Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes statistics. We'll look at it in a second. I thought it was interesting. Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes' success and popularity recently elevated him to the top of many lists. A former opponent, multiple-time Super Bowl champion, offers reasons for another legendary quarterback to be rated higher than Mahomes. During a recent episode of Football, when Ben Roethlisberger, the former Steelers quarterback, answered a fan's question about the reasons for preferring Aaron Rodgers over the Chiefs star. Quote, I think Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal. He's going to go down as, another arguable GOAT. You know what I mean? There's not only one GOAT, but there's GOATs. The whole herd of GOATs. I disagree. I mean, look, Tom Brady won 7. There's the GOAT, and then there's everybody else. Quote, I would take Aaron Rodgers in his prime over Patrick Mahomes right now. Roethlisberger clarified his answer to indicate that that's his opinion, but he maintains a high level of respect for Mahomes. By the way, his last game of his career, it looks like, his final game was against Mahomes and the Chiefs in the 2021 AFC wildcard game. And it's an interesting debate. I mean, I get the debate, and I'm crossing my fingers that maybe somehow, some way, we finally get Mahomes versus Rodgers. They've never played each other. And Lord knows, I think it's a matchup everybody wants to see. This is wild. I'm going to tell you what's wild. I went and pulled up Rodgers, and I pulled up Patrick. Okay? Rodgers' statistics are insane. They're insane. He's a 4-time MVP. 10 times Pro Bowler, 4 times All-Pro. He's got a Super Bowl, and he was a Super Bowl MVP. And the damnedest thing about this is, let's come all the way down here to age 28. He won his first MVP. At age 38, he won his last one. He won all 4 MVPs from 28 years old to 38 years old. And you want to talk about quarterbacks showing their asses in their 30s? It gets you're not showing much more ass than that than what he did from 28 to 30 years old, and he won 3 of these, 31 years old, 37 and 38 years old. That's remarkable. It's remarkable. And even last year, 41 years old, 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns. I'm not sure we've recognized that that's what? A top 5 season ever for somebody 41 years old or older? I mean, I can think only Brady in those years with the Buccaneers would have been better. And here's the other problem. All right, for Patrick Mahomes, in case nobody noticed, he was 6th in the league in the MVP race last year. But his numbers weren't that much better than Aaron Rodgers. He threw 2 less touchdowns than Aaron Rodgers did last year. And the exact same amount of interceptions, 11. He had a higher completion percentage, and he went 15-1. Obviously, that was a much better team around Patrick Mahomes. But people haven't talked about the fact that Patrick Mahomes' last 2 years, I mean, he didn't even make the Pro Bowl last year. But his last 2 years, I mean, they're pretty down. And this was one of the reasons why John wanted to come on here, is because he's like, nobody is talking about the fact that Patrick Mahomes' last 2 years have been okay. I mean, in some terms, okay, pretty good. You could call it pretty good. But 92.6, 93.5 is your rating. In this day and time, that's not great. Yeah, in 2004, that'd have been good. Now, not great. Now, I understand we could argue weapons and blah, 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 and we could do that about any of these guys. All right? But it's interesting because Roethlisberger's point is, I would take prime Aaron Rodgers over prime Patrick Mahomes. It's hard to argue with 4 MVPs. That is hard to argue with. You know? I mean, it really is. Now, rings, I'm always going to give rings precedent. If you ask me where Rodgers ranks all time, I've got him somewhere probably between 9 and 12. All right? Do I have Patrick Mahomes in the top 5? Probably at number 5 is where I probably have him. As of right now, I probably still have, I mean, Elway went to how many? And he won 2, and I think he won 2 back-to-back. Manning had 2, right? So I've got Montana. I got Brady, Montana, Elway, Peyton, and then Mahomes. And then from 6 to 20, it gets pretty clouded with a bunch of dudes. If Dan Marino would have just got just one, I mean, he would, guys, kind of like Aaron Rodgers. He was ridiculous. People don't understand how good Marino was. But Roethlisberger is talking about prime versus prime. And I will tell you this. People haven't been nearly critical enough of Patrick Mahomes and his play the last 2 years. I mean, his numbers are basically identical to Aaron Rodgers last year. And people are acting like Aaron Rodgers can't play this year. Think about that a minute. I know, they went to the Super Bowl. They also got cremated in it. And yeah, he needs some weapons. I also, by the way, I don't believe that Patrick Mahomes, and by the way, Patrick Mahomes is a better player than Aaron Rodgers right now. Okay? Let's not get confused. I don't want anybody to get confused by that. But at the same time, I think it shows one thing. I think Aaron Rodgers is still capable. I think he's going to have a better year than he had last year. The other thing is, they better get Patrick Mahomes some help. I don't think he's playing the 40 or 42 like Tom Brady. My feeling is he's going to make it to 35 and call it a career. I just don't think he's going to play as long. All right? Unless he has some kind of, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady sort of nutritional reemergence to try to lengthen his career. I think he probably needs to drop a little weight. I guess we'll have to see. But I get the argument from Roethlisberger. 4 MVPs, 3 of them after 31 and older, 3 MVPs. That's pretty wild. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Before we jump in, make sure you go to our merch store, our Make Basketball Great Again shirt, and our newest shirt that just came out. Both shirts are brand new. The American Flag Skull Fever Enforcer shirt. And use promo code CC22 for 20% off.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.